Welcome, Ukraine War Update today. The war that began with Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 is approaching a grim one-year milestone, with mounting military and civilian deaths. As Russia steps up attacks around Bakhmut, Western nations have raised their military support for Ukraine to the highest level yet, with commitments to send main battle tanks. Britain is training Ukrainian soldiers to fight in a more Western way and use less ammunition than the traditional Soviet way of fighting, British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace has said. Ukraine uses huge amounts of ammunition to defend itself, partly that's why we're training them to fight in a Western way, he told Times Radio. The Russian or the Soviet way of fighting is very ammunition-heavy, massive artillery barrages, and that's never how we have organized ourselves to fight in NATO, he said. Ukraine urged allies to speed up the pace of military aid as NATO defense ministers prepared to meet for a second day on Wednesday, while Russia bombarded the eastern front line in what appeared to be the early salvos of a fresh offensive. Much of Russia's artillery fire was focused on Bakhmut, whose capture would provide a stepping stone for Russia to advance on two bigger cities, Kramatorsk and Sloviansk in Donetsk. Support among the American public for providing Ukraine weaponry and direct economic assistance has softened as the Russian invasion nears a grim one-year milestone, according to a new poll from the Associated Press and ORC Center for Public Affairs Research. 48% say they favor the U.S. providing weapons to Ukraine, with 29% opposed and 22% saying they're neither in favor nor opposed. In May 2022, less than 3 months into the war, 60% of U.S. adults said they were in favor of sending Ukraine weapons. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said on Tuesday that he expected Ukraine to conduct an offensive against Russia in spring. Ukraine wants to create momentum. We expect to see them conduct an offensive sometime in the spring, he told reporters after meeting with NATO defense ministers in Brussels. He also said that Russia is introducing a number of new troops to the battlefield, but that many are ill-trained and ill-equipped. Asked whether Ukraine's allies on Tuesday discussed the issue of sending fighter jets to help the country in its war effort, Austin said, "I don't have any announcement to make today." The European Union will on Wednesday launch an ad hoc group to investigate how billions of dollars in frozen Russian funds, including central bank reserves, can be used for reconstruction work in Ukraine, the Swedish government said on Tuesday. The mandate is to contribute to mapping which funds have been frozen in the European Union, and secondly how to legally proceed to access those funds, Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson told a news conference in Stockholm. 2 Dutch F-35 fighters intercepted a formation of 3 Russian military aircraft over Poland and escorted them out, the Netherlands Defense Ministry says. The then unknown aircraft approached the Polish NATO area of responsibility from Kaliningrad, according to Reuters' translation of the ministry's statement. Kaliningrad is a Russian Baltic coast enclave located between NATO and European Union members Poland and Lithuania. After identification, it turned out to be 3 aircraft, a Russian Il-20M Coude that was escorted by 2 Su-27 flankers. The Dutch F-35s escorted the formation from a distance and handed over the escort to NATO partners. Ukraine is using up ammunition faster than allies can supply it, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says.